preteens, boys and girls, welcome to another edition of the WyoNation Roundup. I am your host, Chad Smith. Greetings to you wherever you may be, and I am chuffed right now, boys, because it's the little things in life. After having Twitter hiccups last week, the machine, the software, took our Twitter connection today. So we are live on Twitter once again. How about a round of applause for that? Yeah. So again, welcome on into the show. Always something to talk about. And we'll wrap up today's show with kind of the news that broke this afternoon. But we have Wyoming basketball and Wyoming wrestling to talk about. One season has ended and another season is about to, and we'll see how successful we'll be. But we'll start with men's basketball. Brian Stevens is back with us this week after spending some time in Vegas watching the Mountain West tournament. How was your time there in Vegas, Brian?
It was great. A lot of good basketball. It is a bummer that Wyoming's not taking the town over anymore. Been a while since we had any success there, so it's been slowly dwindling for the brown and gold, which is a bummer. We used to be the biggest fan base there by a lot.
Yeah. And then what other tournaments were you able to check out during that time?
I didn't check out any other ones this year. The schedules just didn't line up. I could have gone to the Big West, but it was late, and it was the night before I flew out. So,
all right. And then I guess kind of talk to us how, I guess, after Wyoming got knocked out, kind of what game did you kind of enjoy the most?
The championship game was great, man. Utah State, San Diego State. Utah State really put it to them, but the effort was there for sure. It was an excellent game. Another really, really good one was San Jose State taking out Boise.
Mm-hmm.
That was
an upset.
Impressive, especially considering they had like 6 guys available. Like you could tell the second game when San Jose played Nevada, they just ran out of gas. But that first game, man, they were ready to go, and it was a lot of fun to watch. As far as the Wyoming game goes, the Pokes did pretty well. The biggest problem we had towards the end of the year was shooting. We just don't have guys that could consistently make a shot. Caden Bennett was in foul trouble. When he's out, that's a big detriment to the shooting. Yeah, it's just – and then we saw it carry over into the Wichita State game last night, which I'm sure we'll talk about here in a second.
For sure. So, yeah, we'll talk more about it. How about you boys down there on the bottom, Brad and Shea? I guess kind of your thoughts on the tournament, and then I guess we can move it forward, and then I guess your level of surprise that after several Mountain West schools did drop out of postseason contention, which we can talk about, Wyoming making it into the NIT with that quick turnaround.
I thought it was I was listening to a podcast earlier, and they were talking about how Utah State feels a little bit slighted at their seed that they got in the NCAA tournament. You know, they felt like they should have been like a 6 or 7 seed. They ended up with a 9 seed and playing Villanova, which won't be an easy game for them. A little bit surprised the Mountain West only got 1 team, and it's been a while since that's happened.
Yeah, we'll have to get Brian's thoughts on that. I was going to ask him on that. So that is...
Yeah, and, you know, for the past couple of weeks, they were projecting that, you know, unless you won the Mountain West, you were probably on the bubble and out, right? And, you know, Utah State had a leg up, you know, in that. So
brutal, though, right? Because when I saw that Utah State, who won they won the regular season title, and they won the conference, and they were a 9 seed. I was like, uh-oh, that's not good.
Nope, that's bad.
Yeah, I mean, nobody was dominant in the league this year. Like, Wyoming got pecker slapped in Logan, but then came back to Laramie, and it was a last shot game. So I don't think the Mountain West was that separated. Even San Jose State, if they were, you know, healthy, Tim Miles is such a good coach that I don't think it mattered. I love watching Leon Rice cry at Boise State. That might be my favorite thing besides watching BJ Raines cry. So
sure.
I don't. It sucks to see. their egos are getting in the way when they could have invited maybe Gonzaga to the Mountain West and they would have been a multi-bid league. And I still think they're going to be a one-bid league when they go to whatever the pack they're calling it. What's wild is Sonny getting tied to that stupid Sports Illustrated Oregon State coaching job, and they're like the 8th worst team in the Big West, whatever conference they're playing in. They're not even good. So,
Yeah, and he flat out told Alex Taylor that no way. He's like, that's not happening.
Yeah. Well, it's a worse. He would take a step down in support and facilities and just
everything. And you look at the way that their administration bounced Wayne Tinkle out the door, like that might be kind of a toxic environment. So maybe that would cool off and let somebody else take that job,
And Tinkle's not a bad coach, man. But Oregon State is not setting anybody up for success.
No.
Well, they don't do it in football either, so.
Don't tell their fan base that. They're going to send you death threats.
Uh-oh.
That's fine. I'll be in their home stadium next fall, so.
There we go. See, he's saying bring it on. Brad. I was going to ask Bryan a question, but I forget now. I guess your thoughts, one-bid league.
It made a lot of sense. I think if New Mexico would have got past San Diego State, they probably would have got in by making the championship game. I think San Diego State just started way too slow this year. They've got a ton of talent, and Dutcher's a good tournament coach, but they weren't a tournament team. I mean, you could see it the whole time they were playing. They're not bad. Like they're a really good team. I think it's not a good look for them in Boise to be turning down the NIT. I have to think that Grand Canyon turned it down too.
They did.
Yeah.
They said
they
injuries.
were a good squad. They looked good at the tournament. They did have some big time injuries, which was sad to see. But Grand Canyon is going to be a force next year. But as far as the Mountain West goes this year, it was New Mexico. If they got to the championship, would have made it. Utah State was in. And if any other team would have won the tournament and beat New Mexico in the championship, we might have gotten 3.
Did Grand Canyon bus a bunch of their students to the game or the tournament?
Oh yeah. There were a lot of students there. I mean, Phoenix is only like 3 or 4 hours from Vegas.
Well, and when you're one of the largest universities in the country, just ripping money from people left and right, I guess you can afford to bus your students to Vegas.
I tell you, Utah State had a lot of people there too. Like, I bet half of that arena was Utah State fans for the entirety of the tournament.
Yeah, it's too bad the bars didn't enjoy that fan base. That's why I like Wyoming fans coming there.
And San Diego State, they like San Diego State, Wyoming, and New Mexico. We all drink.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad it's staying in Vegas for the foreseeable future, so that'll be good. And I'm sure Sonny will have the boys on the right path next year to get it maybe at least a championship game and get the fans.
And I've watched a lot of ball in Vegas and seen a lot of the arenas. I haven't been to T-Mobile yet, or the one that the Aces play in, but the Thomas and Mack is by far the best facility to be having this stuff. There could be some perks to having it at like Michelob Ultra Arena in Mandalay Bay, having a casino and hotel attached to it, but Thomas and Mack is just such a better basketball facility.
Yeah, T-Mobile would be awful. That would be awful. It's too steep.
That upper deck at T-Mobile is wild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get vertigo sitting up there.
You're walking down the stairs with beer. You're like, this is it.
I was in the upper deck at the Yum Center a couple of years ago. I went to the Sweet 16 when San Diego State was playing Creighton. When they were playing Alabama. And it was the back of the chair in front of you is at your feet. Like I was getting dizzy. I had to get down to the lower bowl. It was bad.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. I mean, Thomas Max is a good arena. So
it's purpose built. So you would think it'd be good for basketball.
And then getting into last night's game, Wyoming got into the NIT, as did, half the Mountain West, which is good for the school. Sonny was grateful to be there. He said in his press conference after the game in Vegas, as I was tweeting, sorry.
You're all right.
Is that the cat, Brian?
Yeah.
Yeah. The cat's barking.
Massive.
I know. We know. I think he just wants to
But Sonny said that he was definitely taking any bid. He was tweeting the NIT, letting them know, hey, we were ready to play. They got a tough draw going to Wichita State. And other than the Utah State game, statistically, that was the worst game of the year. That road game at Utah State was bad. Wichita State was right behind it. We couldn't shoot anywhere, not from the field, not from the arc, not from the free throw line, which drives me up the freaking wall. Man, they made free throws. This is an entirely different game.
But you know what? Like, despite all of those things that weren't great, they were never out of the game.
Yeah, it is a miracle that they were in that game. And it just goes to show how mentally tough this team got. Mm-hmm. And it's a big step forward. They had a chance to play in the tournament. They got a chance to play at a really good environment there in Wichita. And if Sonny can keep these guys together, and, you know, we can get into it if you want on the guys we need to keep and the guys that maybe we don't expect to see back. But if he can keep the core of this team together, they're going to be really good next year.
Well, they had the worst travel ever to Wichita, too.
Yeah, no kidding.
It would be, you know, it's one of those things where I wonder, like, you know, in the post-game handshake or whatever, you know, Sonny tapped the coach on the shoulder, be like, hey, man, you know, this would be an awesome, you know, thing to do, you know, a home and home the next 2 years. Or
Alex actually asked him about that after the game, and he said, you know, I'd love to do a home and home, but I'm not going to do it because they'd want us to start here, and I don't want to come back here.
Well, beggars can't be choosers sometimes, unfortunately.
Drew is in the house. Yeah, and we'll talk about some of that here. But before we get into like the future, Brian, I guess my question for you is your evaluation of this season. Did they meet or exceed your expectations?
They exceeded my expectations. I said when the season started, if we had a 500 season, it was going to be a good year. They exceeded that. You know, we went 18-15 on the year, which, I mean, everybody'd like to see us win 20 games. Everybody wants to win 20 games for every team, but they did a really, really good job this year with what they had. Now, the non-conference schedule was a little weak, and Sonny's admitted that. We know that North Carolina is on the schedule for next year, so that'll be interesting. Seeing how the Pokes do in Chapel Hill. But yeah, they improved a lot this year. Like, if this team would have played last year's team, this year's team would have just beat the crap out of them. It was, you know, they played hard. Obviously, they were young. Foul trouble was a thing all year long. I don't think the Mountain West refs did them any favors going into the NIT by calling everything. But you know, you take what you get. There's not a lot you can do about that.
Were you at at one of the Mountain West games? Wasn't there like 80 free throws between?
Oh my God, yeah.
Were you at that game? What game was that?
I was. I forget which one it was. It was painfully long.
80 free throws, people, in a tournament game. I'm like, what are we doing?
That's gross.
It's boring.
Yeah, I mean, the Mountain West has got to figure out something. They got to tell these guys you're killing us. And it is.
Well, and it's the officiating across the entire West Coast. Like the WCC sees it, Big West, Pac-12 is going to see it, the Mountain West is going to see it. It's all the same officials.
Yeah, it's all the same pool of officials. So,
yeah.
But, you know, interesting stat, I guess, with that is how long has it been since a team west of the Mississippi has won an NCAA championship? And
96.
Is there any correlation with, you know, how games are officiated with that, with the pool of referees that are available on the Rocky Mountains and West Coast?
I mean, and let's call it what it is, too. There's 4 times as many basketball schools east of the Mississippi as there are west.
Sure, 100%.
So that's where you're going to get most of your officials, too. Not enough games to go around or out here, which makes it difficult. But, you know, you got to work with what you got.
Yeah. So maybe that's something we can talk about, a good off-season topic. We can get somebody who's like a referee expert. I don't know. I'm sure we can find somebody. Well, I know you've rep games. I understand that, but you know. But I mean, somebody who
the
understands.
biggest issue out here is the travel.
Oh,
You know,
sure.
if you live in Philadelphia, you can just ref games in Philadelphia and not ref the same school twice.
Yeah.
Like, you never have to get out of your car. If you live in Denver, you're on a plane 3 times a week if you're a college basketball official. And I mean, these guys aren't just doing D1 games either. They have to dip down into D2. They have to pull D2 officials up to make sure that they've got enough officials for games along the weekend. It's tough. It's really tough. It doesn't pay enough to make it worth it in a lot of places.
Mm-hmm. Sure. But to get back to Wyoming, I guess, kind of looking to the future here, like you mentioned before, I guess, in your opinion, Bryan, give me 2 things that they have to do this offseason to take as big of a step as they did from year to 1 to 2 to 2 to 3.
Yeah, well, obviously, retention is number 1. Like, that is full stop what we need. You have to keep Gores and Meyer at all costs. I've heard that Nas Meyer really likes it here. I've heard that he is pretty sure he's going to play in the league someday and he's going to make money there. And he would rather have good coaching, which is what he's getting in Laramie. I haven't heard how Gavin Gores is doing, but he would be, of all the players that we need to retain, I would put him at number 1 just because bigs are hard to find. And he proved that he had what it takes to play in the Mountain West, which is no slouch of a conference. I've heard Demarion Dennis may be looking to get closer to home. I'd love to see him stick around. He's an awesome player. He was a hell of a lot of fun to watch. But those are our top 3 guys that if you hang on to them, things are going to go really well next year. Number 2, there are 2 things we need really badly in the offseason. We need a 3-and-D guy. For you non-basketball folks, that's a guy that makes 3-pointers at a 40% rate and is a lockdown defender. Think Drake Jeffries. They're kind of glue guys on teams. And we have to get another really good post presence. I mean, Gavin Gores is good. He's a really good offensive threat. Defensively, he could use some work. He just needs some more bulk. I mean, he's 19. That just comes with age. Abu Magasso was our best defensive player this year, but he was a 0 offensive threat. So you need a big guy that, you know, can stretch the floor a little bit and can bang down low. I mean, the last really good rebounder we had was Graham Ike. And we all know those players don't grow on trees, and you know, when we get them, we may not see them for too long, but they need that really strong post presence. They need what Scotty Abube would have been without the fouls last year. Just a really great post player.
Need Charles Bradley. That's what Wyoming needs, like a
There
6'5",
we go.
a 6'5" guy that can just bang down low.
Yeah, I mean, our leading rebounder was Caden Bennett. Like the rebounding was admirable this year for as small a team as this was, but we got to get some size. Sonny's been putting out a lot of offers to D2 guys that are in the 6'6", 6'7" range that are good 3-point shooters. So he knows what he's missing. Matija Belic would have been that for us this year. So those are the big things. We got to retain, and we got to get, you know, 2 pieces that are going to really bring things up. Now, the guys we got coming in, we've got Chris Pohl. He's from Marshfield, Wisconsin. He and Gores played on the same AAU team. So he was a 48% 3-point shooter his junior year, and 7 rebounds a night. So that's a big one. And then we've got Madden Smiley coming in, who's Steve Smiley's son, Sundance Wick's godson. He broke the scoring record at Windsor High School this season, and he is Sonny's very, very excited. We're going to see him next year. The days of redshirting guys are over unless you've got a guy like Neil Summers that is a local guy that knows he's got some work to do before he can play.
And then Smiley, what does he profile as position-wise?
He's probably a 2 guard. I mean, he can bring the ball up, but much like Nas Meyer, he's a guy that can handle the ball, but he's not going to be your primary ball handler.
Okay, so that's what I was going to ask you. With Leland Walker graduating, do you think is point guard something that they need to look at?
So Uriah Rojas was a really good point guard for us this year. Obviously, he wasn't Leland Walker, but he did a good job with ball handling and assisting. His defense was pretty good. Again, I'd love to see Demarion Dennis stay around. Not a great ball handler, but an on-ball defender. He was the best one on the team by a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully both of those guys stick around, because then you won't have to scramble to fill a very important position. I do think that they're probably going to target a point guard in the portal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing it's probably going to come from D2 rather than low major. They might be able to get a low major guy like they did Leland Walker this year, but we saw, the last few years, we've seen what happens when you don't have a true point guard. Remember Maldonado bringing it up the floor, and he'd have 6 turnovers a game because that's not what he did.
Yeah. He was just our best option. Yeah, it all comes down to attrition, right? Because right now we only have one scholarship open. I did check the kid from Wisconsin. He's finished his senior season scoring 20 points a game up there in Wisconsin. So he had another successful season. So yeah, we're just gonna have to see, right? Between now and April 7th, when the portal opens, you're gonna hear some names go. But just know, like as Bryan said, they have a system in terms of ID and talent, especially with their metrics, and they're going to just plug that into the supercomputer, and they're going to find kids who are all-around players.
Yeah, and we saw how well that worked last year. When you're getting guys like Leland Walker and Demarion Dennis and, Adam Harricow that came in was really, really good. Caden Bennett coming from Quinnipiac. Like, they found good players last year, and they found players that want to be Cowboys. I would be very surprised if we didn't see Caden Bennett and Adam Harricow back next year. I think those guys are really happy with where they're at. It wouldn't surprise me to see Boo Magassa in the portal.
Yeah,
I think he's a guy that's maybe a little over his head in the Mountain West. We heard from the coaches that he's got all the physical tools, but he just wasn't able to get it done this year.
Shea did not like that news. He laughed.
That news. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Shea's a
Cox
big
didn't like the news.
fan. No, your thoughts, Brad and Shea, since we've been kind of talking about the roster, what you guys think moving forward that Wyoming really needs to look at?
Well, I can't.
You're muted, Mr. Brad.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not the subject matter expert here, but not even close. There's no point in me contributing to that.
Okay, that's fine.
I will say something last night. Dennis may be this guy, but I woke up my son last night when Leland Walker didn't dive for that loose ball and got a foul. I was so mad because I was like, where's the Wyoming guys that would dive for that? Would dive at the ball. It's a tournament. Even the announcer's like, dude, you got to dive for that ball. Maybe finding a guy like, you need to find some grit. Maybe the guys were good, but man, they got pushed around. They just took it. Dennis was the only one, I think, really willing to fight back. So you need like a Bobby Trailer out there, just get technicals. Just
no, let's not do that.
Let's be honest. You had guys like
effort.
Nas and Leland all year that were really bringing the heat and diving after stuff. I just think they got their asses beat last night.
Yeah, they took a punch and they didn't want to throw one back. I'm like, come on, do something.
Shea has the most sleep-deprived kids with him waking them up constantly with his yelling at the TV.
He's like, look
for
my
mountain
ball.
time
Look at
games.
if I see you not diving for the ball, even in a YMCA game, no dinner.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant was diving for balls in the gold medal game. If Kobe Bryant's diving for balls, everybody should be diving for balls.
All right.
If one of the greatest players to play the game is diving for balls, you should too.
I was so bad last night. God, I was like, oh, that's like basketball 101. It's a loose ball. Go for it. When the announcer even said, I felt justified.
I would just to wrap up basketball. I mean,
yeah,
Drew Jive put in there, needs to get some D1 recruits. We've got a couple. Yeah, we'll see. The next two come from the next 2 to 4 come from the transfer portal this year.
Yep.
And NIL is in much better shape this season than it was last offseason. So hopefully we can get those guys to stick.
Yeah. So as the news breaks over the next few weeks of people going into the portal, not only at Wyoming, but obviously in the league, right? Because there's going to be other teams in the league. losing players as well. So it will be interesting to track that. But I guess for these guys below us, Bryan, tonight's got to be like Christmas Eve, is it not?
Hey man, it was like me 2 weeks ago before I went to Vegas. These guys are probably chomping at the bit.
I too want to go to Vegas. Yes.
Yeah. You have a better travel plans. You know what Brad and I would have gone to was Cleveland for the wrestling.
Hey, the presidents say Cleveland rocks. So
that's right. NCAA wrestling starts tomorrow. Everybody, is ESPN Plus for the first day, or
it's a mix. Like you can get it up on ESPN or ESPN2, but they're not going to show. If you want to see a dedicated match for Wyoming, it's going to be on ESPN Plus.
So there we go. So get your ESPN Plus on tomorrow, and I guess kind of give us what the vibe is, Shea. I know you're kind of connected to the team and trying to get the vibe of, are they loose, relaxed? What is Branch thinking? What's going on in Cleveland with the Wyoming wrestling team?
I think they're loose. I actually listened to Keith Kelly today. He had Eddie Knightenbach on, and Eddie admitted that he wrestled the Big 12 championship, the tilt, the main one against Sinclair. That he wrestled tight. He wasn't in his offense. Novak looked the same way. It came out this week that Carroll was sick, like really sick at Big 12s, and that's why you saw his performance. But he didn't want to say anything. Like, he didn't want to use it as an excuse. So screw the coaches that hammered him for that. If he would have taken 2 medical forfeits, he would have had a better seed. But I think the team is loose, and probably having brothers on the team probably helps too, where guys, they can kind of feed off of that brotherly love with the Willis Shells. I think they're ready, and this is the last go for Gabe. So he's beaten, I think, 7 guys ahead of him in the seeds in 149 before. So he's got to be a threat at 149. I just don't know why Flow Wrestling and the coaches hate him in rankings, but Gabe has the offense to do well.
Perpetually low seeded all season.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, Drew. Now Luke has faced Aaron Seidel, who's like a really good recruit for freshman for Virginia Tech. He lost to him 8-4 in high school, so it's not like there's not going to be wide margins. The Wyoming guys are going to be good, and may God have mercy on the heavyweight bracket for a focused Carroll as well.
There will be tears after he gets done moving through that bracket, I think.
Yeah, he's not to discredit the Army guy. The Army heavyweight he faces first is a tremendous athlete, but I couldn't imagine being the number 2 seed, and that's who you're looking at down the barrel. He was ranked like number 7 all year, and now he's the 18 seed, and you're looking at it should be a quarterfinal match as round 2. So, I know Carroll's had some knee problems this year, but he still just drives through it. And then I think Joey, if he's focused and Eddie are focused, can really make some runs. But I think what would help was guys like Luke or Gabe pulling an early upset, like that first round upset, and then the team just feeding off of it, because you can see it when one guy, the South Dakota State duel was a good one. Hill had that overtime pin, and all of a sudden the wheels came off for South Dakota State, and Wyoming just mowed them over the rest of the duel. So
I think
kind of where it's at.
I think bare minimum, Shea, I think we'd want to, hypothetically, 4 All-Americans should be doable in this tournament, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like 4 out of 6 should be All-Americans.
Yeah, and every year you have guys making these weird runs from like the 33 seed and getting All-American. So it's not impossible for a Davis or even Luke. This is not to discredit Luke, a true freshman trying to make that run through the deepest bracket at 133 for All-American is maybe a bridge too far.
That's a tough bracket.
Yeah, but just experience. If he goes 2-2, I think you call that a win.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you got some wins. You experienced it like Novak did. Went 2-2, All-American the next year. Jory Volk 2-2, All-American the next year. Now Eddie Knightenbach was 2-2 last year. I don't. When 2021 they sent 8 guys, and Buchanan was the only one I thought really had a threat to All-American. Guys, I think could have, if they were focused. But Buchanan was like, man, this guy's really going to be the man.
Mhm.
Now we're sending 6 guys. You're like, these guys are good.
Yep.
Like, this is a good 6 guys to send, and it's exciting that even though they're going to probably be offered in the tunnels this year, like they were last year at the NCAA for other teams in the portal, but it's exciting that you'll see them all back next year minus Gabe, but you got
And
Cole
the
Brooks
roster
coming.
itself is a really young roster, so I
Yeah.
mean, there's a lot of room for growth, within the wrestling room itself. So
Yeah, they obviously some holes to fill. Coach Brandt's brought that up on a podcast this week that they'll look to fill some holes. So, and I'm sure guys will leave. That's just the nature of the beast. Maybe some guys looking for time or just don't want to wrestle anymore will just naturally fade off the roster. Is what it is. Just got to focus on the 6 guys, and I'm excited that 2 hours into my job tomorrow that I'll probably get a Knightenbach, Novak, Carroll string of matches back to back. Well, even Davis.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sorry,
What
Wirt.
time tomorrow do people need to tune in to start seeing the Wyoming matches?
Well, you would have Luke would be first. So 10 a.m. Mountain Time is when it starts.
Okay.
So
They got to roll through pigtails first, though, right?
yeah, you got to ride through all 10 pigtails. Then you got to roll through all of 125. 11 maybe. And that's only because you're probably like 1 and 2 seeds in 125 or ending matches extremely
All right.
quickly. But
So
I would say
probably the
11, 15.
best way is to stay probably tuned to the Wyo Wrestle Twitter.
Yeah.
I'll let you know when things are going on. So
Yep, they're usually pretty good about updating map placements, because I think that's how ESPN Plus does it. Is they have a camera on every mat.
Yeah.
correct.
You can just flip over to ESPN Plus, get the right mat, and so the Wyo Wrestle Twitter accounts usually got that lined up for you.
Yeah. So the boys seem loose. I think everybody's just kind of ready. And if Wyoming sends 4 All-Americans, they're a top 15, top 12 team. So that's
Mhm.
huge, because I saw the budgets come out from last year, and that would be pretty impressive that they're probably the 30th team in the nation in budget in terms of expenses. To finish that high would be really good.
I saw a projection a couple days ago. They were projecting the team tournament results, and they had Penn State winning by like 50 points again.
They have 7-1 seeds.
Yeah. So
Two guys that haven't
doable.
lost, and won every match by bonus.
Yep. Yeah, I forget who they had at number 2.
Probably Ohio State.
Maybe either them, or I don't think it was Oklahoma State, and I don't think it was Iowa. So,
well, Iowa only sent Iowa's in the hurt locker for wrestling.
oh no,
Their program's not doing. Maybe we're seeing this now as guys come to Wyoming and they're like, "Oh, this is awesome," and then they see guys transfer to the Iowas or the Michigans, and they don't do as well as they were doing at the smaller schools they left, and they're like, "Hang on,
Yeah.
wait a minute before I start jumping around." So
I was going to say it worked out for Stephen Buchanan, but that took
he was going to win it at Wyoming. He was going to win it at Wyoming. He didn't need to train. He didn't gain anything.
Well,
money.
Yeah, well, he did gain a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest here, right?
He gained the one reason that people transfer: money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Branch brought it up in the podcast that he said Novak, I don't think is going anywhere. Like, his family loves the coaches. They love Laramie. With rev share, now Wyoming kind of is on some type of playing field with some of these other schools. To be like, we can give you money. I can't give you what they're giving you, but we can give you something. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's going to be fun for this next 3 days. Hopefully my Saturday night is booked, because that means Wyoming has guys in the national title. So if I'm not doing anything Saturday night, I might be kind of sad. I won't make my kids cry though, so I guess that'll be it.
Please don't.
Probably will on Friday though.
Please don't.
Yeah, Jameson cried because Sloan Swan didn't make the NCAA tournament, but he likes Christian Carroll, so he's now got a wrestler to watch for this week.
He's got his Friday and Saturday booked out too.
Well, I set up he has preschool, but I have ESPN set up on his TV for when he gets home, so he can turn on
What kind of monster sends their child to school during the first 2 days of the NCAA tournaments?
And it's a church. I think they would understand, right?
Yeah. Just tithe them an extra quarter or something like that.
Yeah. So they're I don't know. It's fun to watch it with your kids and kind of, build the fan base, back up. So
say your little one's only got to be like what, a year or two away from being able to start USA wrestling.
I don't. Jameson's probably gonna be a swimmer or a soccer player. My youngest is gonna be in the state pen or probably a wrestler. I don't know, man. That kid is he beats up my older kid. I just kind of watch it. You're like, oh, this is good. Keep it clean, no punching.
Oh, MMA fighter, wrestler turned MMA fighter. Like some of the Wyoming greats.
That's the Foster household. Shea just out there teaching kickboxing at right before bedtime. Most kids get stories. Shea teaches kickboxing.
They were fighting today. They were on that my son has a boat bed that's a little bit higher, and he like Sparta kicked his brother off the bed. I was just sitting there, and I was like, well, but nobody's crying, so we're good.
Oh boy. All right. Before we get Virginia Child Services, Shea, we'll move on to wrap up the show. So again, good luck to the Pokes. Watch Wyo Wrestle on Twitter, and then of course Shea. We'll keep you updated too if you want to know what's going on. And next week we'll talk about it. So yeah, hopefully we're talking at least a couple All-Americans and maybe more, right? So we'll see what happens there. But today some news broke. Wasn't planning to talk football at all, but earlier today, I don't know who was the first. I saw it from, well, actually, I think Shea was the first one. And then I went and checked Twitter and saw that Adam Scheffner reported it, that former Wyoming linebacker, Casper's own, the mayor of Wyoming, Logan Wilson, is retiring from the NFL. Didn't mention specifically why, but I think we all know the knee injury that he suffered was a tough one. He did get picked up by Dallas not too long ago, and apparently before giving a shot with them, he decided to hang it up. So your guys' thoughts on, I guess, Logan Wilson, his impact at Wyoming and his NFL career?
Yeah, judging by his Instagram the last 2-3 weeks, maybe more, I kind of got the feeling that he was probably going to be hanging it up sooner than later. His just seems like his body just kind of broke down on him. Like, the last couple of years have been kind of miserable for him, I think. And, Cincinnati kicking him loose, probably a blessing in disguise, the worst defense in the league, but go to Dallas. I don't know if that was any better, but I don't know. He all-time Cowboy, obviously.
And now that he's not associated with an NFL team, it might be pretty easy for us to get him on the show sometime in the next few weeks.
Yeah. He'll be, probably, I don't know how they do it at Wyoming, but, so to speak, first ballot Hall of Famer, for Wyoming Athletics. So,
might be a while.
Yeah. I don't know how they do it, and their backlog seems kind of long.
Yeah. There was again, we talked about it. We talked about it a few weeks ago, and I'm like, how's that guy not in the Hall of Fame?
Well, I mean, this year they just put in Chris Przynski, and he hasn't played at UW in forever.
I'm thinking Wendling too, or no? Was it just
Wendling was last year?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. See, exactly. So they make these guys wait a while before they get them in.
Way more than the NFL. You could be in the NFL Hall of Fame before you made it to the UW Hall of Fame.
100%. Yeah.
You got to
I
be
don't-
really good to get into this Hall of Fame.
I wonder what Logan's plan is, because he comes back to Wyoming to run his camp. Like, he has a football camp. So, I mean, I said it today. It'd be cool to, hey, baby bowl, you can run the defense, but we're gonna Logan on as a. I guess you bring him on as an analyst because there's no rules for coaches anymore, right?
Bring him on as a coach or analyst.
And-
Yeah.
Say, as an analyst, they can pay him, but he doesn't necessarily need the paycheck. He made really good NFL money.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, I think he wants to stay connected to the game, and if that's in coaching UW, awesome. If it's coaching Natrona, cool. That'd be, I
Yeah.
think, great for the state, regardless. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You always want to see guys come back. Javon Bonite, all-time Cowboy, has the wide receivers on a different level, and it'd be cool to see another all-time great on the sidelines coaching.
Yeah,
For sure.
The retirement just really didn't surprise me at all. Like, I don't know.
And he's got a family now. It's got a young kid, and
Yeah.
so.
And he said that in his post that he wants to spend more time with his family. So I don't know if coaching is in his immediate future because, right, coaching, that's more time away from your family than if you're a player.
Well, especially in college too. College is probably way more coaching intensive than pro.
Yeah.
So I wonder what his plans are. It'd be kind of cool if he comes back. I think his wife's from Wyoming too, if I'm not mistaken. So it'd be cool if they
believe
kind of
so.
came back. So
yeah.
It's crazy. Don't forget he was recruited as a punter to CSU. So
was he recruited as something insane at Wyoming too? Like,
he was a cornerback. He was a cornerback.
Yeah. I mean, and he was a small little guy when he first came in, and he's just a testament of what you can do, right, with nutrition and weightlifting and coaching yourself to middle linebacker size, and then playing the NFL for 5 years. So,
most importantly, invested in that NFL pension.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I guess kind of on the same vein as Logan Wilson, Andrew Wingard signed with the Cardinals this week too.
I don't know why he did that to himself.
Yeah. Yeah, it's only a 1 year deal too, so I kind of wonder, he battled a little bit of injury the last couple of years, so I wonder how much longer he'll stick around the NFL as well.
Could be winding it down too, perhaps.
But I think he was the leading tackler of the Jaguars last year.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Marcus Epps still looking for a team. So the guys we loved in the mid 2010s, they're kind of at the end. There's not a lot of Joey Porters.
And we're not putting new guys in the league, unfortunately.
So I think Welch is isn't Trayton Welch still hanging with the Saints, and Carl's still with the Saints, and
Granderson's still kicking around,
Yeah, guys are around, and it just sucks because after that team, you had Muma, and that was it.
And he's been kind of a traveler lately too.
Yeah, so
he's on his third or fourth team.
I don't know if we see. I don't know. Maybe we'll see guys from this last year's team at least get some mini camp or camp invites. Maybe we can keep some Wyoming tradition alive where we can follow multiple teams during the season.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been banging the drum on every Buffalo Bills beat because they just lost their undrafted guy that they really liked. Offensive line, like Caden Barnett would be a good guard for him. So, and he's fast. We could play special teams on the punt return or punt block.
Bills have been active in this free agency period so far. So,
yeah. So, we got football starts next week too, Chad. Spring football.
That's right. Spring football, which will be good. I think we'll probably usually like Friday. I'd imagine this Friday we'll get the press release. Maybe Monday. I don't know when they start exactly.
24th, Tuesday.
Okay, so it might be Monday.
Yeah.
And then we'll get the practice schedule, and we'll see if I can get up there for the spring game this year. It'd be nice, especially with, again, right, the number one most popular man in the state of Wyoming is the new offensive coordinator, and he's got a lot on his plate to see what they can do.
Yeah. He's not coming with empty cupboards, though.
Maybe, I don't know. As I said, we could talk about that more in the future. I mean, running back wise, sure, maybe, but I mean, again, I don't know. Was Shea on that show? Probably not. I'm like, I don't want to hear about wide receivers ever again.
Oh yeah,
This guy's going to be right. Let's get a wide receiver. I don't think we've had a 500-yard wide receiver in years.
Oh man,
which is pathetic.
I wonder who would have been the last one.
I don't know. I'm sure. Let's do some live on-air research, and then we'll.
Probably Chris McNeil.
No, it's been longer than that. We probably had a guy over 500, but you know what I mean. I mean, we haven't had a 1,000-yard guy, and I can't even tell you how long. Let's look it up.
Tanner Gentry was your last 1,000-yard
Probably,
guy.
yeah,
Probably Tanner, yeah.
So receiving, Durr 469 last year, 480 the year before for Sargent as your leader. Then you go to 480 for Weiland in 23, 22, 407 Cobbs, right? So, I mean, we haven't had a guy go for 500 yards in 5 years. 21 was your last one, Isaiah Nair. How could we forget?
Wow.
His sophomore year, 878.
Levi Williams just had to throw it up in the air.
Yeah. And then after that, how about 2020 was a short season. Ebenard had 250 in 6 games. You go to 19, 355. You want to guess who that was in 2019?
Oh boy. No idea.
How about Rocket Jr.?
Oh, wow. I forgot about Rocket Jr.
Yeah.
2018, 395 for James Price. I mean, this is beyond pathetic wide receiver production. 2017, Conway, 549. So that's your second guy since 2017. We've had 2 wide receivers over 500 yards. In 2017, we did also CJ Johnson had 531.
Huh.
But that's still 3 wide receivers since 2017. So
Yeah, not going to get it done.
And we know what the problem was. That guy's gone. Bo Knight, just starting over. The receivers looked a lot better. But it's now about getting better talent in that room and then better production. So,
yeah, it's crazy. Is we lost basketball and wrestling is the end this week, and then we're right back into football.
Yeah,
so wild to see. Yeah, and then we'll literally have a dead period from May to basically August.
Yeah,
we should get really into outdoor track or something.
I don't think that's going to happen, Brad.
Just get really into outdoor track so we have something to talk about in May.
I mean, Wyoming's got good throwers. Wyoming's got good throwers. So.
Yeah. I think we have another hammer thrower that's really good this year, right?
You guys take the throwers. Or no, one of you can take the throwers. One of you can take sprints.
So
I'll take distance because I was a distance runner.
Oh,
and there we go.
We're going to become track experts.
Yeah.
There we go. Fun times. So before we leave, Brad, you give your regular spiel here about where else can they find this wonderful WyoNation information on the interwebs.
You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or anywhere else you like to find your favorite podcast. You can also find us on YouTube if you want to look at our faces.
Mm-hmm. Very, very true. So, yeah, good time, boys. We'll see. Big day tomorrow. I'll be tuned in. I'm sure the group chat will be filled with colorful language from Mr. Shea.
Hey, it's passion.
It's going to be fun. I know. It's great. It's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to it. Seeing how everything goes down, and we'll be back next week to break it all down, the NCAA wrestling and then the start of spring football. So, all right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. For Brad, for Shea, and for Bryan, who already ditched us. He's already gone. Yeah, I know. This is Chad. Thank you for tuning in to the WyoNation Roundup. We'll be back next week. Go Pokes in Cleveland, and we'll see you all soon.